Alrighty, guys, good evening. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Frysat. Wonderful night tonight, guys. Uh-huh. Tonight, guys, we're going to be doing some OW2s. Uh-huh. Good evening, Slane. Yeah, had a lot of shit going on today, guys. That's just the way it goes. Yep, y'all have days like that. Let's see what's going on in the tubes tonight, guys. Gonna order new parts for my computer. Have not done so yet. Is this actually in the game, or is this my game? My video card fucking up? I think it's intentional, because it's only on the white snow. I think it's supposed to look like that. Some sort of fucked up graphical effect. Yeah, plan on ordering parts in the future. 12900K, or today maybe. 12900K and some memory and motherboard. See where things go with that. Let's take a look at the tubes here, guys. There's a lot of stuff I actually wanted to take a peek at. Jesus Christ. It's like CNET articles there. I don't know if I want to... Like, we took a look at Tech Tester's channel for the launch of the 7950 X3D, and they didn't do really that great of a job. Better than some channels, but still not all that amazing, so... That's stuff I want to take a look at. I want to take a look at that. Was that the new one? No. 2018. When is this? This is the old one, right? Yeah, it's revisited. I'm not gonna take a look at that. Okay. You shouldn't overthink. Just consume. Don't think. Just consume. Don't think. Just consume. Yeah, that's not the way it works. When you're actually kind of inadequate at your job, I wonder if it actually... You think I'm actually in here? That'd be hilarious. Uh-huh. When you're not very good at your job, like, tech tubing is not really that, like, stratospheric level of... 6 hours ago, stratospheric level of like, you know, the pinnacle of benchmarking. Hardware Unbox does a very good job. Gamer's Dex is kind of used to it, and it's kind of getting better now again. Tech Power Up did a very good job. I wonder if I'm actually in it. Nope, I have not. I'm gonna wait to benchmark or binge Mandalorian. I got curious. Am I mentioned in here? Am my posts mentioned in here? See if we have some snippets. Hours ago, it's just a podcast. AMD Thread Director. Any slides? Have any slides or anything besides them talking? Watch that. I would be. I'm kind of curious whether or not, like, the funny thing is, like, I'm not really asking, like, I'm not criticizing and saying AMD can't get it right no matter what. I was merely asking for benchmarkers or reviewers to take a look at possible problems with the thread scheduler, and it seems like there's a lot of people that are angry that you would ever take a look at problems with processors or hardware in general. This is really fucking weird, guys. It's like they're trying to protect the fact that there might be something wrong. And just I think it's just more negligence rather than subterfuge. But it oftentimes just feels like right now it just kind of feels like they're attempting to downplay any possible issues with it. You haven't seen it yet? No. I like binging stuff, dude. What the fuck is going on here? Liz 7950X 3D. I suspected we were going to get a reply from that one guy the other day. -8. Right there. And there's the lifer. Sane. Sane gamers. You go on forever. Well, I mean, the way Star Wars is working, the only really good Star Wars series right now is Andor. They did a really good job with Andor. Otherwise, most of them are just kind of mediocre. I love sci-fi, so I'll watch it regardless of what it is. Boba Fett was pretty terrible. Solo was also pretty terrible. Or Han Solo, or Han, whatever the new series was also pretty terrible. I love when people put bolds in. mincing words here. He's trying to pretend that everything is like everything else and it's all different. It can't be compared to each other because it's all different from each other. The fuck is that? Everything's apples to oranges because everything's different. Intel's different from AMD, therefore they can't be compared to each other. That's fucking silly argument. I'm not going to reply to it. It's just troll bait. Is it negligence? What's the... There's a quote that instead of assuming insidious intent, someone might just be stupid, is what it comes down to. Fucking weird. You guys are jerking each other off for some reason. This is a lifer slash argumentative piece of shit, contrarian, which makes it very difficult to argue with someone like that. Once again, because it also seems like they're a fanboy. I'm not. I don't have any bias towards AMD or Intel. I generally just go with whatever's better. However, in this case, the guy is basically trying to prevent anyone from looking at a possible issue, and as such says it's not an issue because no one's tested it. Because basically, it's extremely circular logic. It can't be an issue because no one tested it, right? And therefore you can't test it because not all systems are created equal, and that's sure. But if you are using the same test methodology as a tester, you can transfer this test methodology between different CPUs. And even if things are slightly different, it gives you a ballpark. You don't make it all of your testing, you make it part of your testing. Fucking weird. I think we're done responding there. I think I'm going to opt out of this until something new pops up. I'm just going to close that. Why are people so confused? Implying people are confused because they want to try and figure out if something's broken. What the fuck does it? It's like, that's like some fucking gaslighting there, guys. Because you want to figure out if something's broken, you're confused. Oh, God. That's crazy. I think this kind of amounts to they don't want to be wrong. Is if something pops up where they're actually shown to be wrong because they didn't test something, then it makes them look bad. I don't know. What should we take a look at here? Let's take a peek at Hardware Unboxed. DLSS 3, which is kind of shitty, by the way. DLSS 3 is the fake one where they insert frames. And it doesn't really do that great of a job. DLSS 2 was basically better. Let's take a peek, though.
Welcome back to Hardware Unboxed.
Thank you, Chris.
We're taking a second look at NVIDIA's DLSS 3 technology to see what has changed and improved over the last few months. The first time we explored this was back at the launch of the GeForce RTX 4090 with mixed feelings. It can work well in the right circumstances, but the tech was let down by visual and latency issues. This led us to only recommend using it in a narrow range of conditions compared to DLSS 2, which was largely beneficial to all GeForce RTX owners. Since then, NVIDIA has been working hard on frame generation technology, announcing improvements to it back at CES in January. Crucially, NVIDIA claims that network enhancements better take advantage of game engine data, improving UI stability
it's like
and
an angry girlfriend or something, ex-girlfriend that just tries to make your life miserable.
Presented in Cyberpunk 2077.
Whenever you're looking for answers about something.
Since this announcement, DLSS 3 was officially added to Cyberpunk and many other games, including launch day inclusions in major titles such as Hogwarts Legacy. So this presents the perfect opportunity to not only revisit the titles we looked at in our initial video to see where the improvements lie, but also check out more DLSS 3 games.
Today's sponsor spot is brought to you by MSI and the new Spatium SSD series.
Spatium.
These PCIe 4.0 SSDs utilize 56 for that extra.
Included, as the discussion around latency hasn't changed significantly since launch. The test system for this video is my AM5 build, which right now includes a Ryzen 9 7950X CPU, soon to be an X380 part I'm sure, along with an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4080 GPU from Galax. As a reminder, frame generation is only available on RTX 40 series.
I didn't see that. Ender's kind of boring.
I'd ideally like to test the tech on a mid-range
it can be
option,
if you don't like dialogue and plot.
Useful.
Yeah.
We don't have any of
like
those
if you want
yet
action,
on the market.
Andor's boring. Andor also has action in it, though.
Includes an MSI MPG X670E carbon Wi-Fi motherboard, and it's all built inside the Corsair 5000D. First, let's take a look at Cyberpunk 2077, the game that NVIDIA claims has definitely received an improved DLSS 3 experience. And immediately upon first glance, this is true. The original DLSS 3 preview build we received for our initial coverage had several issues, one of which was garbled UI elements in motion, a common issue across DLSS 3 games. But the updated version that went live for the public does not have this issue. You can see in this side-by-side driving scene that the old build had a lot of difficulty generating these UI elements, but in the new build this has been fixed, so you won't see this distracting artifact anymore in this title. The initial build also had issues with some texture elements like fine grading details on street curbs, frame generation was producing this horrible, garbled artifact in motion. This has also been resolved with the newer implementation of DLSS 3, giving us a much cleaner and less distracting presentation that you would expect. I also spotted some improvements for fine element reconstruction and generation in motion. DLSS 3 has this tendency for fine elements to flicker and sizzle in motion. The very finest details are a bit clearer and flicker less in this new implementation, which is a good improvement, though on the more minor side compared to the UI and texture issues discussed before. Unfortunately, some of the more fundamental artifacts from DLSS 3 frame generation are still present in the latest build of Cyberpunk. For example, we showed that fast-moving objects like cars would look quite garbled and blurred in generated frames, and while this wasn't particularly noticeable in motion at higher frame rates, as each of these garbled frames is interlaced between a good frame, depending on the frame rate and the exact object seen, it could be noticeable. This sort of motion is very difficult to deal with in generated frames, and fundamentally the newer version of DLSS 3 still has issues here, so looking at this footage slowly does still reveal terrible reconstruction for moving cars as an example. I also still spotted some sizzling in other conditions for things like overhead wires, which I flagged in my initial video. While fine details flicker less in this new version based on my experience, there are still elements which have issues with sizzling, a definite area for improvement with DLSS 3 moving forward. Again, it can be hard to notice at higher frame rates, and it's only every second frame where these sizzles appear, but it's unchanged really compared to the preview build we looked at last year. In F122, it's a less positive story for DLSS 3's improvements. While in Cyberpunk 2077 we saw an elimination of UI garbling, that isn't the case in the latest version of this popular racing game. UI elements floating above each driver are still significantly garbled in motion with frame generation enabled.
I was looking at the words in the back defender.
Noticeable artifacts across all of the games I've tested, in my opinion. Very disappointing to see this problem hasn't been resolved. The rest of the game looks largely identical to when we first tested it, but I did spot one issue being resolved in the latest version, and that's how DLSS 3 handles camera angle changes. In the previous version, DLSS 3 would attempt to interpolate between the first and second camera angles for the split second the change was occurring. It would essentially take the last real frame of the first angle, the first real frame of the second angle, and blur the two together. This looked terrible, and again, it was hard to spot while gaming, but if you did see it, it wasn't a good experience. In the updated version of F122's DLSS 3 implementation, those frames generated between two camera angle changes are dumped entirely and not shown, which is a good improvement, though a less essential fix than the UI issues. In Flight Simulator, I didn't spot any fundamental updates to the DLSS 3 presentation since we looked at it last year. I don't know for sure whether Asobo Studios have done any work on the frame gen implementation since we first looked at it, but on a visual inspection it doesn't seem like it's taking any advantages of the improvements NVIDIA talked about at CES. There's still visible garbling and blur when performing specific motions like we showed in our initial video, and there's also UI issues which are extremely distracting in this game. Very disappointing to see that while Cyberpunk was able to overcome these problems in their latest version, that the same sort of fixes weren't provided to other DLSS 3 launch titles. But perhaps the more disappointing discovery is that F122 and Flight Simulator are not alone in their inability to handle UI elements correctly with frame generation enabled, and lack of fixes since both we brought this up initially and since NVIDIA talked about solving this at CES. UI elements are reconstructed poorly with garbling and sizzling in Spider-Man Remastered, as well as A Plague Tale Requiem. Both of these titles were among the first to receive DLSS 3 support, and both have these problems in the latest builds of the game. I also spotted UI issues in Dying Light 2 and Hitman 3. Both of these titles were updated to support DLSS 3 in January after NVIDIA's presentation. Clearly, neither of these titles has benefited from improvements to frame generation discussed at that show. Either that, or they're still using an old version of DLSS, or the tech has been poorly implemented. Either way, these games do not handle UI elements well, especially any UI icons or text that move in the game world. But worst of all, when the UI is concerned, is that the very latest DLSS 3 games that launched in February with DLSS 3 support also handle the UI badly. It's actually kind of baffling that NVIDIA specifically talked about fixing this at the start of January, yet more than a month later we had Hogwarts Legacy and Atomic Heart both launch with UI reconstruction problems with frame generation enabled. When 8 out of 9 games I tested,
it looks like DLSS 3 still sucks. But Some things are
struggled
better,
with UI
but most things
elements,
still suck.
I would absolutely not call this problem solved at this point.
But if you have
There is some
4090, you're
hope
probably
that
not
it
using
can be
DLSS
fixed
anyways.
based on
So,
what we've seen with
well, actually, maybe if you're
Cyberpunk.
ray tracing,
It's just that right now it's not fixed in the majority of major titles. How noticeable these problems are varies between each title. Games that have a more limited selection of UI elements and don't use waypoint markers as often, such as Hitman 3 and A Plague Tale Requiem, are mostly fine and don't distract too much from the experience. But games that do use waypoints or a compass can suffer, especially when you're focusing on those markers to navigate the world. It's an element that draws your eye and it looks bad in motion. Perhaps worst of all are games like Atomic Heart, which can also include floating in-game subtitles above the heads of characters. The way this game integrates those elements and animates the text as the characters speak is particularly susceptible to DLSS 3 UI garbling, which can make it harder to read the text in motion. Clearly, this needs to be the number one area of focus for DLSS 3 improvements, and if game developers simply aren't integrating the technology properly, even after NVIDIA claims to have solved UI issues, then NVIDIA maybe needs to get more involved or better educate developers on how to avoid this problem. The good news is that when we ignore UI issues across the 6 new titles that I looked at, the image quality in general from frame generation is pretty decent. It does vary from title to title and can depend on what specifically you are doing in those games, but in most cases I found it difficult to spot artifacts in motion, especially at reasonable frame rates. The best examples of DLSS 3 are slow-paced titles that by virtue of their gameplay do not have a lot of fast motion. Hitman 3, for example, typically runs quite well without ray tracing enabled, so DLSS 3 running with a final frame rate around 130 to 150 FPS showed up very few artifacts at all during normal gameplay. Most of the artifacts I spotted were more related to running DLSS upscaling on its quality setting rather than frame generation itself. It was only when slowing the footage right down to a slideshow was I able to tell which frames were generated and whether frame generation was on. So this game is
so
a
it kind of
great
plays with
example
your
of the tech
mind's
working
blurring,
well outside
your mind's
of UI
ability to blur
issues.
shit because it
It's a
can't
similar
makes up
story
stuff
for A
in
Plague
between,
Tale Requiem.
filling
Like
the
Hitman
gaps.
3, this is a slow, single-player title with largely stealth gameplay, so the differences between each frame are not large, and DLSS 3's frame interpolation is able to work well. In general gameplay, I wasn't able to spot many noticeable issues here at a reasonable frame rate. Again, I had DLSS 3 outputting around 100 to 110 FPS compared to a 60 to 80 FPS baseline, and even when running, I only spotted the occasional bit of sizzling. However, both of these titles had two issues. Unlike with the updated version of F122, Hitman 3 and A Plague Tale both have issues with camera cuts that were most evident during cutscenes. Between
So
the camera
apparently
cut,
they had to
single
make some sort of
garbage frame will
whitelist. It's
appear
not
on
actually a
screen that blends
fix.
the two camera angles together. I also spotted some flickering from
Maybe a
moving bright
whitelist.
objects in the frame generation presentation. In A Plague Tale, this was the eyes on rats, which are brighter in each rendered frame but dimmer in each generated frame. This causes a flickering or pulsing that again isn't super noticeable but isn't as clean as the native presentation.
You'd
In
assume
Hitman
that
3, this was
the
the
rats were
rain,
just
a similar
going
sort of
behind
issue
other
there.
characters, right? Behind
Dying
other
Light
rats.
2 was generally a good example for DLSS 3 despite being a faster paced first person title, the major issues here being the UI problems discussed earlier and the occasional sizzling for fine details in motion. When I really punished the technology by running with a final output frame rate around 70 to 80 FPS, indicating a base frame rate of around 40 FPS, the artifacts in motion did become apparent during combat scenes with lots of moving objects. But I'd say this game at reasonable frame rates had fewer issues than the initial release of, say, Cyberpunk 2077 with DLSS 3 that we covered in our initial video. Spider-Man Remastered and Hogwarts Legacy both share similar issues when it comes to their DLSS 3 implementations. Generally speaking, when playing these titles at reasonable frame rates, you'll see few artifacts, even during faster motions such as swinging around in Spider-Man or flying on your broom in Hogwarts. But the bigger issue with these sorts of games is running. When your character's legs are moving quickly, this can create noticeable garbling that I found somewhat annoying in both of these titles, particularly Spider-Man. You're not often looking at this during gameplay, so you may not notice this as an issue if you're focusing on other areas of the screen, but it's a flaw in the DLSS 3 presentations. It just can't handle that sort of fast motion very well. With that said, Spider-Man and Hogwarts can be quite CPU demanding in some areas, so frame generation is one of the only ways to improve smoothness in those scenarios. It can be quite useful there, especially when roaming around the Hogsmeade area in Hogwarts Legacy as one example. Yes, you will see artifacts at times, But when a high-end system with a flagship CPU and high-end GPU is only capable of around 60 to 80 FPS natively, even on reduced quality settings, I'd prefer to use frame generation than not use it, whereas in other titles it may be preferable to reduce quality settings or opt for a lower DLSS 2 setting. Atomic Heart is very similar to the other games I've discussed in its DLSS 3 visuals with the strengths and drawbacks already mentioned. The biggest issue for me in this game was the UI quality, and right now I simply couldn't recommend using frame generation in this game with subtitles enabled. But outside of this, the image quality was largely acceptable for a single player title and similar to what was seen in, say, Dying Light 2. It's been good to revisit DLSS 3 after we first looked at it in October last year to see how things have improved for current titles and to assess the technology in a couple of more recent releases. Like with DLSS 2 over the years, Nvidia are working to improve the DLSS 3 experience, and in at least a couple of titles that is definitely the case. Based on assessing 9 games for this video, DLSS 3 is mostly the same as we saw in our initial video, with a few minor improvements here and there. The latest version is less susceptible to random garbled textures and is slightly better at handling fine objects in motion. So across all the games I looked at in general, it can be hard to spot issues when the game is being run at an acceptable frame rate. In my initial video, I said a base frame rate around 60 to 80 FPS was optimal for making artifacts less noticeable, with DLSS 3 therefore producing an output frame rate around 100 to 120 FPS. Based on a wider sample of games and recent improvements, I think in the best cases you could probably get away with a base frame rate of 50 to 60 FPS, with DLSS 3 producing 90 to 100 FPS. This does vary though. Games with more motion require higher base frame rates, but slow-paced titles like Hitman 3 do look good at those lower figures. Just don't expect DLSS 3 to take your 30 to 40 FPS experience up to 60 FPS and have it look good. Like in our original assessment, that's really not a good use case for this technology, as you'll likely see many visual issues. This assessment has so far ignored the issues with UI rendering though. It was disappointing to see that while Nvidia has been able to fix UI reconstruction in Cyberpunk 2077, this fix hasn't been applied to any of the other titles we looked at. This means that 8 out of 9 games did still feature some form of UI issue, ranging from garbled interaction icons to blurred and flickering subtitles.
It really doesn't
This
like the
includes
corkscrew.
the very latest titles released after Nvidia announced this issue was resolved/improved back in January. So there's still lots of work to be done here if brand new games like Atomic Heart are launching with frame generation UI issues. It should be possible to get a clean UI in those games, it just hasn't been implemented yet for whatever reason. As it stands right now, making UI garbling less noticeable requires a much higher base frame rate, more like 100 to 120 FPS rather than 50 to 60 FPS. What's even more disappointing about this situation is that some games could have been fixed by simply updating
You don't
the
want to use
version of
DLSS 3.
being used. For example, in Hogwarts Legacy, we used the tried and true method of replacing the DLL file with a more recent version, updating it
In
from
low
DLSS
FPS conditions,
3
which is
version
generally where you want to use it.
1.0.3 to version 1.0.7. In this title, the UI issues were largely resolved, not fully resolved, but largely resolved after applying this manual update, which is pretty embarrassing for the developers given this DLL was made available before Hogwarts Legacy launched. It's good news for end users who can manually update, but not everyone
Not a
knows
white
about this
list.
technique, and really, it shouldn't be on gamers themselves to patch the DLL.
No, it's not.
On top of this, updating the DLL file doesn't resolve the UI issues in all titles. Some games improved but still had problems like Spider-Man Remastered, while others such as Atomic Heart and Flight Simulator didn't improve much at all.
They get
More
worse.
work needs to be done here to get games to the level of Cyberpunk 2077, though it can be worth experimenting with DLL updates, as was the case with DLSS 2. Other fixes appear to be very game dependent. For example, camera angle changes are no longer garbled in F122, but the issue is still present in Hitman 3's more recent DLSS 3 implementation. Like with a lot of these reconstruction techniques, the experience really does vary quite a bit between games, and game developers appear to have an inconsistent approach to the technology. It's hard to say how much of this is Nvidia's fault, given again, based on Cyberpunk and a few other examples, they have the tools there to solve some of these problems.
I think that's
What I was
game
pleased to
development in a
see,
nutshell,
as a bit of an
guys.
aside, is that more games are allowing users to use frame caps in conjunction with DLSS 3 frame generation. At launch, frame caps and VSync were both disabled, so there was no way to limit a game with DLSS 3 enabled from exceeding your monitor's maximum refresh rate. Nowadays, VSync is still not working with DLSS 3, but frame caps are, so there is at least some flexibility to keep FPS inside the max refresh rate to prevent tearing. Great news for those with moderate
I
refresh
think
rate displays like
most
say
in-game FPS
165
limiters are
Hz.
garbage, though.
This isn't yet
RTSS
available in every
and
game,
NVIDIA
though. Again,
control
it's
panel
very
are much
much
better.
dependent on developer support.
Overwatch is atrocious.
DLSS 3 also remains a great way to improve the experience in CPU-limited games, and there's been a few of those launching recently, such as Hogwarts Legacy. While the tech shouldn't be used as a crutch or excuse for poor optimization, when a high-end system is performance limited to around 60 to 80 FPS even on lower settings, DLSS 3 frame generation can make the game look smoother in those scenarios. It's an ideal use case for this technology, and I think a lot of users will put up with some of the visual artifacts if there's no other option for getting a higher frame rate. The best experiences I've personally had with DLSS 3 have been in those scenarios, like Hogwarts Legacy and Flight Simulator. While I didn't touch on this much in today's video, the latency side of the story hasn't changed with the latest updates to DLSS 3. Frame generation does not improve latency relative to whatever base frame rate you are achieving, so while smoothness does increase with DLSS 3 on, the responsiveness of a game does not.
Huh.
Whether this is an issue for you will be highly dependent on how sensitive you are to latency, the type of game, the game engine, and even what
That's
you're
an interesting
doing in that game. Gamers who are perfectly
We've talked about this
fine
before,
playing
but there aren't
single-player
many tech tubers that have revisited the whole latency thing. I think we saw one. I think it was Optimum Tech that actually tested latency with the new processor. There aren't many tubers or reviewers in general that also look at input latency, despite it being a very important thing. And now that there's tools available such as Reflex Analyzer on a monitor, or if you have it's not an RCAT. The piece of NVIDIA technology that allows you to do that. FCAT is for frame time, and PCAT is power, and they named it something different for input latency. Not like ICAT. NVIDIA has a tool, and there's a bunch of third-party tools that are now coming out where you basically get a little thing that you can put in front of your monitor, and it keeps track of the input latency. Reflex Analyzer on your monitor being the easiest, though. And almost no one tests this. It's fucking weird. I guess because it takes more work to test it.
Titles at 60 FPS with 60 FPS like latency will be fine with a base frame rate of 60 being boosted up to 100 to 120 FPS through frame generation. It'll feel like a 50 to 60 FPS game with better smoothness. Not as good as true 100 to 120 FPS, but if that sort of latency is acceptable to you, it'll be an overall improvement. Conversely, if you must have the latency of 100 plus FPS to be satisfied, then the 100 FPS produced by DLSS 3 won't be good enough for you. Nothing has changed in this regard. DLSS 3 is still best suited to single player games that aren't latency sensitive and is largely not suitable for multiplayer. What I found most interesting though, after testing 9 games with DLSS 3 frame generation enabled, is that the experience can even differ between games at the same frame rate. For example, I felt that a base frame rate of around 60 FPS, so about 100 FPS with DLSS 3 enabled, was perfectly fine for playing A Plague Tale Requiem, Spider-Man Remastered, or Hogwarts Legacy. But that same base frame rate felt slow and sluggish in titles like Cyberpunk 2077, Dying Light 2, and Atomic Heart. I think it's a combination of gameplay and how the game handles inputs, which ultimately
we're just
is going
basically
to vary.
taking a subjective
A base
opinion at this
frame
point
rate of
because he doesn't have any
100 to
benchmarks for
120
it.
FPS with DLSS 3, pushing up to 200 FPS, is pretty much guaranteed to
Like
be
whether
a
or not
decent
it's taking into
experience in
account the whole
single-player
chain,
title, though,
the game
with
might be
good
doing
latency
something extra on
and
the
less
back
visual
end.
artifacting. From here, I hope NVIDIA and game developers continue to work on reducing visual artifacts, both through more training, more optimizations, and simply just using the tools available in the best possible way. I can definitely see a future where things like UI artifacts are not present. We're just not quite there yet. Anyway, that's it for this revisit of NVIDIA's DLSS 3 technology. If you do appreciate this sort of analysis, then please do consider subscribing to Hardware Unboxed and supporting our independent testing through the links in the description below, which will give you access to things like our monthly live streams and our behind-the-scenes videos, and even our Discord chat if you want to talk about the latest games and your experiences with DLSS 3. So thanks for watching this one, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Boop. Okay. Nothing outside the ordinary there. DLSS 3 still sucks, is basically what it comes down to, but it's sometimes alright, but mainly sucks. Shocking discovery, huh? 136 bodies in a 550... What? Huh. So he went to Mexico like a year ago. I wonder if this was under NDA. Like, because there's an investigation ongoing, and he couldn't actually make a video about it until now. That's curious. I want to take a look at that. Click the bait! Click the bait! Oh, we should take a look and see if he pruned my comment from the other day. Let's see. I left a comment on his video. Fine, isn't it? Settings. History. Comments. Oh, no, it's still there. Keep doubling back to it and see what happens. Okay, and I did my upload in the background while you guys are watching that lovely video. Good, good, good. Overwatch Reddits. Still pinned. Covered that already. My dream is not that big. Thousand upvotes because LBGT. On the topic of Kiriko's personality, here's a brief comparison of her cinematic dialogue versus her in-game dialogue. Yeah, because she's a bitch in-game. True story, yeah. Well, she acts like a complete dick. AMD Reddits. So 900 XT dropped $100. I'd still buy an XTX if I could. Good my X3D after I saw others doing it. Hi. I know Devour has a tool for it, but like temps are that important to you? Vast majority users no benefits over to this over overclocking or anything else. Flex some benchmarks. Health cores are parked. Can in task manager or resource monitor, excuse me. Nuts. DVD movie is going to be lit. The World of Warcraft movie was lit too. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Let's do some Overwatch, shall we? Uh-huh. Clean my glasses, too. They need a clean. They need a clean. Hmm. Yep. You're back, guys. Gotta clean up my coffee cup, too. 1 second. Alrighty. What kind of games are we going to get tonight, guys? Some of the worst cheating in Overwatch happens on Friday nights, Saturday nights, and especially Saturday mornings. It is Saturday morning cartoons for kids, as it turns out. Oh, I forgot to fucking clean my glasses. 1 second, guys. Good, good, good. What the fuck? Dude, people just trying to make, like, their shit your business, just... Please. Welcome to the life we live now. The world we live in. I want you to collect the practice range, guys.
Traveling to Mumbai.
That sound just now, like that whistling sound, sounds like broken voice comms in like Discord or something. Might even be the sound effect.
Strike from above. If you ever need help, just fly to me, Angela.
Ah, my hero. You're like a knight in fine armor.
That's what I'm going for.
More field
I
research.
am empowered.
Grand.
Angel at your shoulder. 5,
Fuck you doing, dude? Get the fuck out of here.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Wow. That's exactly what I wanted to avoid.
Excellent.
Widow's also a knower. I think the chances are we're gonna get insta-brained here, guys. Let's find out.
Double over there.
Why are,
I will not waste this opportunity. En route. Double enemy here. Aerial positioning underway. Thanks for the assist.
Meteor strike.
My god, Diva. Right when I pushed in.
You don't know when to quit.
Repulsion.
No one can hold me down.
Oh. Good. Ah, the Me Too Pharah. Be on my dick. Yep. Yep. You decided I'm on my D. Gotta love it. Mm-hmm.
I am empowered.
Sure, we're gonna see more of that. Ah, there's the anti-Pharah now. Guess McCree can insta-kill him though, so. Yeah, me? No. That's not good. Now they're pushing us hard because our team ultra overextended. I don't have like I can queue them here. Is it worth queuing them? They have a mercy, so not really. No. Our team way overextended there. All we had to do was hold the choke, just like we were doing for the last 4 minutes or whatever it was, 3 minutes. That's a big throw. They all just overstepped super hardcore. Could have went and queued them too, but it didn't matter because no one could actually get there in time. Would have been a waste of my queue. Now I have a queue at the beginning at a choke point we can't hold, so this is even worse because now I can't build a queue. Hey guys.
Always more to learn.
But otherwise I'd have to hold on to a queue for another 2 minutes, and whether or not I get a chance to use it, I don't know. Pharah's queue is very niche. Because you just use it willy-nilly, you're just going to die and you're not going to get anything done, and it's worse than not using it all. So... I think the McCree is worse than the Echo is, you know. Get a toggler. By the way, I've watched some streamers talk about cheating, like they kind of know what they're doing, and they don't. They 100% don't. They don't even know what they're looking for, like they're just hyper-focusing on accuracy and shit like that. When they just completely miss people staring at other people through walls and stuff. You know, stuff they don't even do themselves. Because it doesn't make sense. You don't hold angles by looking through walls. Okay, Diva. Good push, Diva. Good push. Just really wanted to avoid another death. I think death is... They have to remove deaths from the stat layout. Fucking vines. Some of the vines you can't shoot through, and some you can. Did I get headshot after being punched? Like right at the same moment on his screen, even though on my screen is after I got punched. Mercy around here? Mercy. Not flying across there. I can hear the goose stepping behind me. Ice Scorch mode is on. Baited his grenade. Mr. McCree appears to be toggled, guys. Good for him. All because we fucked up at the beginning and we couldn't hold the choke point. People literally just ran in front. Yeah, shit was needlessly sweaty. That's why you had to toggle. Good for you. Good for you. Had to show us good, right? I fucking hate people that cheat, guys. Like, with a passion. Like, they're just so convoluted internally. Critical. Try to rub your face in it too.
Welcome to Esperanza. Prepare for battle. Select your hero.
Obfuscation. What would you call that? Cover or... I hate cheaters, guys. I hate them with a passion. Not cheating Mercy, on the other hand, was a huge pain in the ass. Like, you could hear the fucking Krieg goose stopping around just behind me. Just goose stepping. Just trying to fucking get on my dick behind me. Like, you could hear him going through the middle of that building just chasing me when I was going after the Mercy. Just clomping through there. And then he got stuck on my teammates.
4, 3, 2, 1. Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
Stay on the robot.
Establishing carrying position.
We got hit by the Hanzo. Free aim.
All systems nominal.
Hostile in view.
On the move.
Push! An enemy comes.
I see an enemy increasing altitude. Targeting hostile. You weren't watching the sky. We have to get him back. En route.
Pretty sure the Tracer's cheating. Free aim again. Free aim again. But the second time she actually had something to go off of.
Meteor strike.
Very certain Tracer's cheating.
Strike together.
Good.
They pushed past us. Justice served.
Rally to my side. We are pushing.
Form up. Starting the push.
Wants to res.
I see an enemy.
Okay.
What do you think you're doing?
I think she thought I wasn't following her anymore. Oh, she wants to bomb me. Me too, Farah.
Enemy over here. Let's get this on the road. Increasing altitude.
Oh. Hopped away for whatever reason.
I don't want to talk about it.
Hello.
En route.
Oh, it's something else.
Good.
All systems
Meteor
nominal.
strike. We are pushing ahead.
Positioning.
Join
Accuracy's pretty poor, guys.
Establishing aerial position.
That is a tracer. Oh yeah? I see. And that wasn't a headshot, by the way, for some reason. The only thing that could have possibly have been exposed there was my head.
We're outnumbered.
And it wasn't a headshot.
Two came from us.
Maybe my back wing? Maybe?
Feeling fortified.
Up and away. Repositioning.
We must stop their barricade. Join me.
I'm on my way.
Healed already.
Move the lead.
What'd you do that? You get max level too. World's worst ult ever. And there's Tracer again. 100% cheating. She was looking at the lower street just now. Yeah. And once again, maybe it's good that big streamers have no fucking idea what they're looking for when it comes to cheating. Because then people would start hiding the fact that they're doing really stupid shit. Like, that guy wasn't looking up. He wasn't looking right here. He was looking down right there. Definitely cheating. Hey, sup, bro? Good shit. What was that? Like, there isn't even timestamps in the game, so you can't figure out, like, what time. It's like 3:53, but the game adds more time, so that's not really it. Like, match timer? Oh, 6 in top left. 6:10 maybe then? Huh. 100% accurate. Missing now. Hey, buddy. Bye.
The barricade is making progress.
Crew's looking at us.
My ultimate is
Uh-oh. We got levers. Are they all gonna leave now?
meteor strike.
Looks like McCree's toggled again. It was like, it wasn't 6:10, it was like 6:0, because that's like when I was looking for a timer. 6 minutes in match.
The skies await.
Nano boost administered.
Need to figure out a better way of telling people when they toggle on and off rather than just saying part 1 or part 2 or... I mean, that's a pretty good indicator. And it's memorable, whereas talking about timers is not memorable. Meanwhile, pushing the cart. Yeah. Uh-huh. Hilarious. Oh, is that a widow? That is a widow. Let's line of sight a bit here.
Returning to battle.
Meteor strike.
Fall back! Fall back!
Sniper detected.
Fucking swing at me. Very aggressive.
I'll be right there. I'm on my way. Over there.
I see an enemy. Increasing altitude.
Hear the widow.
In my way.
She needs to die. Not die.
Okay, my head's in the game. Establishing aerial position.
They are moving the barricade. Attack!
10 seconds.
That was their cheater.
Get in there. Overtime.
The robot is with us now. Let's get pushing.
Cheater down. It's the end of that. Okay. Whatever the fuck they're doing there. It's like one of those shortcuts that is actually just super negative, detrimental to your team. Super negative for your team. Because your teammates will get stuck in it.
Of the game.
Guy. Communism? Oh, giving a 2 break. All right. Let's see this guy. About 6 minutes, what we'll go with. People, I mean, putting aside timers, people will usually toggle based on what's happening in the game, like game events. So using points actually isn't bad. Rounds, points is not actually a bad spot, or bad way of looking at it. End of a point, beginning of a point, clutching a point, clutching a round,
Traveling to the right.
halfway into a round. Because everything basically rotates around game mechanics.
from above.
No nonsense. And do this clean. Copy?
Taking off. No one's a natural. We all have to.
That aim was very sus. Like, you can actually, like, you can get, like, if someone hits 40% of their shots, right, it's going to be 4 out of 10 will hit, right? For instance, if you have a McCree that hits every single shot on me, which Pharahs generally tend to be more difficult as shit, do you fucking hit? Then if you're just spamming into a bunch of people, because vertical access, assuming you're not talking about Tracer.
3, 2, 1.
Actually makes a lot of sense. Genji's trying to climb on my dick.
Enemy over here.
Need to hit her so she doesn't regen, and missed every shot on her. Like, even if you just tap her, it just stops the regen timer and resets it.
Hello there.
I see one. Over there.
I can hit him from behind.
Let's
Yeah.
show him some air power.
Stay on the payload.
On the move.
Everyone just went and died, guys.
Aerial positioning underway.
Baptiste. You just stood in the middle of my missiles. Okay. Well, luckily, she can't res, so. And he's gone. And if you guys didn't know, you can actually shoot around Genji's deflect without hitting it, and hit him with the explosive damage from Pharah's missiles. Takes some finagling, but I have not seen another Pharah do that. So we'll call it the Ben Sam Anti-Genji Deflect Tech. Funny. Game's been out 6 years. Esport.
Float like a jellyfish, sting like a jellyfish.
And then of course he sometimes just hits the Genji Deflect anyways. God, I just went into that.
Get off.
Now I'm hitting shots. I swear to God, guys, this game feels so fucking different sometimes. It feels really good, and sometimes it feels really fucking shit. Like, it feels like it's easier just to focus people on this match compared to the last one. Why? I don't know. It's like map, maybe?
Over here. Repulsion.
It's kind of weird. There's like no Zaryas anymore. It really feels like one of the things that you don't want to run into as a Pharah is a Zarya. Same thing with the D.Va. D.Vas are fucking annoying, mainly because they can jump your dick and your teammates don't react to it. So they can just one-shot you.
Increasing altitude. It's go time. Well deserved. Reposition.
Like I'm hitting fucking mid-airs on Mercy. That's pretty crazy. Do it in time. I think I should have dropped. Just dead dropped and E'd. If you're in the air and you hit E, you can sometimes get away from him though.
Hey, where is everybody?
Kill.
Taking off.
No time for games. Let's move this thing.
It's not like this Mercy's super easy to hit either. Oh. And for some strange reason, there are not nearly enough people that look for Mercy reses. That Genji, did we get a top? Oh, that looks very interesting. Oh my god. I love linear parallel acceleration. That's amazing.
Positioning.
See? Genji might have got angry. Want that. He'll show me his sicko mode now. Where's the Genji anyways?
Enemy over here.
I'd get over there.
Concussive out. I see an enemy. Watching the skies. Enemy over here. My rocket on fuel.
One doing work.
Taking off. Enemy here.
Oh. Poison.
I require talk about danger close. Just rain from above.
Triple kill.
Yeah. That was like super long. He could have possibly got out of there. Good. Maybe not. Sicko mode squelched. Better Doom IG. Neither of our Dooms did anything spectacular. Healers were about tied too. Surprisingly, we had Lucio that actually healed his teammates. That's incredible. Instead of just wall running.
Arriving at Antarctic Peninsula.
Strike from above.
We must all find a cause worth fighting for.
McCree. You don't know your own name anymore. Lizard brainwashed you. Missing a DPS somewhere. Right there. Gonna try and push me. Mercy should have went and gotten the other side of her. I guess someone took her med kit.
Over here. Hello. Our futures are intertwined.
Greetings.
They have to like go down in order to actually get out.
You weren't watching.
They have to go down and out. It's actually a pretty terrible spot unless we wanted to go in there and basically brawl with him, which is, I think, the intent.
I will not waste it.
I think her wall was up.
I'm back.
He just went to sleep.
Taking to the air. Enemy over
This guy is now very accurate. Never seen anyone fight over there. Let's see if we can get him back. Oh, he left. Gonna line of sight him. There we go.
Heroes never die.
enemy here. Was there any doubt?
People say, oh my god.
Best round. One.
Yeah. People say like Mei is still good. I don't think so at all. Maybe for Wall was alright, or her cryo. They kind of play around with her cryo flamethrower a bit, but in her current form, Mei is definitely not what I consider pretty good for this game. Not very good. I used to play a lot of Mei too.
No unnecessary.
She's not what she used to be. The fact that she no longer has CC on her main fire is actually a big deal. Slows, but that's not a big deal. It stop you from running away, but if you're running away, your battle's probably already over in the first place. So kind of pointless.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture.
Up and away. Enhancing your strength. I am empowered.
Very accurate, Ash.
Enemy over here. Blasting. Enemy here. Taking off. I am securing the point.
Fuck is that? What the fuck? Okay, bye. Okay.
I need to use right. Positioning underway.
Want to keep line of sighting the Ashe. Ashe doesn't seem very good, beyond the Ashe being incredibly fucking accurate. Oh. We can just keep using how far back she's playing against her, and it'll work out in our favor. Got offensive pressure gone. Definitely not a waste of an ult. It might seem that way, but it's not. She always tries the goose step, and all I have to do is reverse, and she walks into my missiles for me. Fuck. Me too, Farah. I didn't even know you could go over here. That is Ashe. That Ashe, incredibly fucking accurate, but played super far back. Accuracy versus actual game common sense, I guess you could say, is completely different, which usually means they're cheating. But like, he was playing so far back that it didn't really even change anything. It didn't even matter that he basically is 100% accurate because he never took advantage of the fact he's 100% accurate. And then when he thought he was going to kill me, he basically just would always try to over-peek, and then he'd run into my missiles and die. Which, go for me, so... Good. Good. Do 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 do. Happy Frysack, guys. Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. We actually haven't, besides that one match, we haven't really got much in the way of cheating tonight. Cheaters? It's just really that one match. 2 matches? 1 match? 2 matches? It's pretty lax. I mean, that guy was probably cheating, but we couldn't tell because he didn't really... We got no kill cams, and all I had to do was line of sight him, and it turned out alright.
Welcome to Rialto.
Strike from above.
Got a good cigar and a big iron among it. What more does a man need? Maybe something to drink.
Ashe is on the other team from last game. I don't know what Jumpy really has in reference to. Dragoon is actually a cavalry from, like, not World War II, but,
Greetings. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
like the 1800s, 1700s.
Increasing altitude.
Escort.
Payload's under my control. Let's roll out.
I see an enemy. Excellent teamwork. High power.
Sem turret. Accurate Anna. Maybe keep shooting her. Very accurate, Anna. That's why you spam X when you're on the ground, guys. Dock that one. She's too accurate. I'm not going to bother trying to kill her. All you have to do is wait for your teammates to kill her, and then you don't die. There's the Me Too, Farah. Fucking McCree killing everyone. Uh-oh. And just the levers.
Step rider.
Oh.
My ultimate is ready.
On the move. I'm obviously the most precious. Let the key guide you.
Correct call? Don't know. I probably should have killed Anna first. It definitely seems like instead of killing a tank, which I usually prioritize, I should always just kill the... should always kill the healers. I don't know why they're waiting. We killed half the team.
I see an enemy. Concussive out. Returning to battle. Increasing altitude. This will just take a moment. Thank you. Over here. Over there. Eyes here.
These are new guys, by the way. Like, the entire... like, there's like 4 people that left, and they're replaced with 4 new people. I think the only person that's the same is the tank. Who's stepping? Here's... and Zari combo. Good. Need to really kill the Mercy. There we go.
Enemy over here. Over here. Making another approach. Dispersing. Increasing output. Heat check confirmed.
Don't have a Mercy anymore.
Enemy over here.
Good. Yeah, you wanted to flashbang me? And then hit me through the plants just now, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you did.
Returning
No
to
desync
battle.
there.
Just get it moving.
Over here. On the move. I knew I could count on you.
That is hungry. Zarya's on top of Bubbles.
I don't think so.
Can't do it. No. Just there to deal with me, guys.
I don't want to talk about it.
No idea what he's talking about. There's 4 people in back, including the healers. 3 people? Oh, that's pretty fucking weird. I'll do it there. And we get a decent Mercy for a bit. And she swapped for some reason.
Justice reigns from above.
Kree, I think, was cheating, also possibly the Hanzo, but it looked relatively normal, so.
Arriving at Conceal.
Strike from above.
Ash might be cheating. Let's find out. Looks like these guys are getting pooped on.
Heroes never die. Time for the reckoning. Duck, dodge, and duck. Taking off. Enemy here.
Hey, holy shit. We survived. Maybe not. We'll find out.
Aerial positioning underway.
Guys have a morale bonus going on right now. Get the Mercy out in the open. Okay, she should have went out in the open.
The robot is with us now. Let's get pushing. Justice reigns from above.
And 2-tap. It's eventually going to happen. He aims to hit shots, but no headshots.
I don't stay down. Up and away.
The robot is pushing the barricade.
Helden sterben nicht.
I see an enemy.
Heroes never die.
Enemy.
Guess he was AFK. Good. What are you doing? And 2-tapped again. So prior to this, she was hitting basically all of her shots on me, but she wasn't doing any headshots, and that's changed now, obviously. And 2-tapped again. Pretty sure she has it set up to 2-tap me now. I'm pretty sure she's cheating. Yep. So whatever was going on earlier, it wasn't set to 2-tap me or get headshots on me, and now it is. She wasn't doing that earlier. She's just hitting basically all body shots.
They took the robot.
I will not waste this opportunity.
Greetings.
Hello.
Yes, she is. I'm very certain we're just going to get... It doesn't seem... Normally, like, it's a percent based or something like that, and it'll be RNG. It definitely just seems just like it's set up to 2-tap me right now. Got. Got. No, they lost their tank. Good. She doesn't miss anymore. And it seems like it's 2 taps. That was 2 bodies though. Maybe it's just based on how fast you need to kill them. Because if it's 2 bodies, for instance, instead of a headshot and body, which is what she needs to kill me. But at that point, she only needed 2 bodies because of the McCree. Curious. We're line of sighting her right now. God. Gotta stop the regeneration. Stop regeneration. Doesn't even matter what you're doing with it, just has to stop the damage. Fully on my face. Good.
Okay, my head's in the game. Repositioning.
They took the robot from us.
Yep, 2-tap again. She's 100% cheating. Ashes, whatever she had set up when I first entered the match, because there's other players in the match, was not set up to 2-tap. And she changed it after respawn. And now it seems to be set to kill me like within a certain amount of time. There might even be like a mercy setting or something, some sort of stupid shit. Dude. Holy fuck. I shouldn't have peeked her. Free aim is Winston though, so. But that was definitely pre-aim. You saw him looking directly at my position behind the wall when he was about to leap over it. So Ash is 100% cheating. So the only time she didn't headshot me was when the McCree did damage to me too. Otherwise, it's a body shot and a headshot every time. Normally they trade that off where it'll be like a 2 and a 3 tap, and they'll oscillate back and forth between them, or change it up a little bit to spruce it up. But in that case, it was just set to 2-tap me. Good for them. I guess somehow they just magically turned on sicko mode between one life, just out of nowhere. I guess they just completely changed their aiming ethos in one death. Good shit. They're on my team now. Normally, this is where you see them leave. We'll see if they do it. Although I didn't play for a full round, so they might not have gotten killed turn.
Strike from above.
Forget regulation. After this mission, I'm throwing a party.
Like when they're first forced to rage hack, they don't want to help you ever. Well, they're not really rage hacking either. No, they're playing. Widow? Not dead yet. And headshot, and then body shot. As McCree. Headshot again. Why the fuck did my healer run? Oh my god, mercy. definitely need to go after McCree. Fucking Christ. The hardest thing to hit, guys, is... Ulti Mercy. Cream. Good.
Always more to learn. Objective A captured. Escort the payload.
I think one of the best things that would help with that is 100% new monitor. I want a new fucking monitor so bad. I hate my old monitor. Come hither further. Thank you. What a nice guy. Oh, that guy did too. Two stepped on. Had some free, by the way.
Increasing altitude. I see an enemy.
Hold back. Copy that.
You get him? Nope. Nope, didn't make it. So I might have actually got myself killed because I booped the Reinhardt. Yeah. Probably not.
Let's show him some air power.
All I had to do is come around the side and Q, so.
Watching this area.
Concussive out. Enemy over here.
Very accurate. McCree. And go for a res. Oh. And I couldn't ask for healing because apparently I typed too many messages. Good. Kill everyone?
My head's in the game.
Much obliged.
Up and away.
Why isn't he pushing?
I will not waste this opportunity. Over there. I see an enemy. There's one here. This airspace is
Good.
closed.
Lovely shot. Pass to McCree. Ha! Okay. Wait, did both Mercies kill each other? No.
Always more to learn.
My ultimate is ready.
Repositioning.
Mercies are very protective. They gotta kill him. Almost. And Ryan just gave me his shield. Take that. That's what she said. No. I believe he would not have been able to do that if I didn't boop him just now. Like, he wouldn't have had the height to do that. Good.
Time to kick some.
Our Mercy actually wasn't that great at all. I ain't getting endorsements. Like, she healed us on occasion, but our Mercy did almost nothing. Good. We had a really good Ana. Hmm.
Now entering Midtown.
Strike from above.
So you're going with gold? Joining Overwatch?
Isn't that what you want?
What I want never should have mattered to begin with.
Let us proceed with haste.
Take care of each other out there.
Definitely seems like Mercies are the most common healer in existence now. Even more so to the nerf that they got. So fucking difficult to kill.
I see an enemy.
Widow.
Enemy over here. Move. Over
Fucking chasing me. Good.
All systems nominal. Aerial positioning underway. Enemy here.
Got body shot by the Widow.
Repositioning. I am empowered. I see an enemy. Massive out.
It's almost not even worth shooting at the Kiriko before they teleport.
I don't think so. Establishing aerial position. Rains from above.
Thought the Widow was there. She wasn't. She left.
Enemy over here.
My soul is alight.
Time.
On the move. Supplying damage. I will not waste this opportunity. Increasing altitude.
But it. Shift was not up, guys. I think you can tell people about your abilities, can't you now? Thinking about that now.
Repositioning. Over here. We're outnumbered. Be advised.
There we go. Otherwise, it uses the ability. I don't want that. Fucked around with my abilities, guys. Like if I do Shift Q,
Okay, my head's in the game.
doesn't report your ultimate.
Come on, team. Push the payload. Aim to the air.
I think I got deflected with my concussive. Yeah. We get a toggle, guys.
Let's show him some air power.
Find out.
This will cut the pain.
Where's the Widow?
En route. I knew I could count on you.
Stop moving. I thought she was gonna aim and lead, and she didn't.
I'm not done yet. I don't think so. I see an enemy. Enemy here.
Where'd my missile go? There we go.
My rocket launcher. Taking off. Let's get them. They outnumber us.
Fucking Christ. Like, I can hear her jumping all over the place, and I can't fucking find her. It's like Genji. Okay. This is the Widow that couldn't hit anything earlier, by the way. It's now hitting all headshots and everyone.
Kick some tail. Repositioning. Establishing aerial position. Thank you.
Could really use a heal somewhere. Not even a heal bot.
Returning to battle.
Helping you out.
Thanks for the assist.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Widow's not hitting all of her shots. Widow is now hitting it. So Widow definitely toggled. At the beginning of the match, she was relatively normal. Now she hits everything. Good.
All systems nominal.
That was the same player from the beginning of the match that had 7 deaths and did almost nothing in the first... What is it? Maybe like when Genji stopped acting weird and switched to Echo is when we started seeing Widow act weird. No. Not very good though. Christ.
Let's keep it going. En route.
Go again. Minus sighted the Widow. And now, like, the Genji's, like, fucking around where Genji was killing everyone for a bit. Now Genji's not playing Genji for some reason. Weird. Okay.
I don't stay down.
In chip MN.
On the move.
Enemy over here.
Now the Widow's missing all their shit again.
Positioning.
Or just spamming shots they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Very weird match. That Widow, that's 10 and 10 right now. No way. No fucking way. No fucking way. It's like the middle center portion. I don't know what happened at the end of the match, because we just kind of ran them over. But that little section where she's literally fucking killing everyone, yeah, no. Completely different player. I believe he shot the band shield just now, by the way. Ah, it's a complete pre-made. Good for them. What time that is.
Welcome to Real. Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
Strike from up.
Like, it's one thing if you get like one kill, right? Or even a couple kills in a row. It's another when you just go from being able to hit nothing to being able to hit everything, and then going back to being able to hit nothing. Normally, players are pretty consistent with their performance throughout the match for the most part.
Looks like I'm going to be in the air, so call if you need me on the ground.
It would beat for you.
And it looks like they're gonna pocket each other, so.
3, 2,
Hello.
1.
what he was doing. Normally you go for the side. I guess he couldn't make that. Very accurate McCree. Get him? Nope. It's very, very difficult to boot people based on how the bridge works there because of the railings.
I am here to support. Birds of a feather get here together. Understood.
But sometimes you can if they're really near the edge. You can boot them over. God.
Thanks for the assist.
Oh. I'll just rotate it out.
Get here together.
Good.
Piece of cake.
On the move.
Use it up. Had to use it at some point. Okay. Ours apparently. When there's rejoins, it definitely looks like Blizzard tries to make the matchmaker harder. Like they actually come in with much more difficult players than we're in the match with you. These guys are all fucking hitting their shots. Almost all of them. Weird. That was a pre-made. That was a pretty sweaty group that just popped in there. They're all on the same page. All came out with anti-flying shit. Apparently our Echo killed everything. And very possibly cheating. Oh, what's new in Overwatch, guys? What's really new? That we only got to see a pot cheat, but she had infinitely more damage than me. And our good. Okay, I gotta take a piss. She had like 40% more damage, 50% more damage than me. 1 second. Good. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Fuck hot. Mm-hmm. Got some wasabi almonds.
Traveling to new places. Prepare for battle. Select your hero.
Strike from above.
What's there?
I'll protect your friends.
Like when you see an Echo guys that lands all their fucking shit in the air.
Objective unlocked in 30 seconds.
Angel at your shoulder. Hello.
That we saw in that pot G. You know,
Thanks for the
one thing if you're occasionally hitting people with your triangle shot, but when they land all their globbers on the people and then hit them immediately with your laser.
Left here. Hello.
time to kick some tail.
Let's move!
Is that you?
On the move. Up and away.
Coming in. What's there?
Hey, fuck.
Can't let them keep going. Greetings. Come here and I will see.
Very weird game. Shit like this that really makes you wonder if there's like dynamic difficulty adjustment in the game.
System repaired.
Yeah.
Returning to battle.
The enemy has him.
En route.
They're moving the barricade.
Enemy over here. Over there.
What do you...
Taste my power.
Why?
Enemy here. Okay, my head's in the game.
Like I'm fucking playing a completely different game, guys. Look at this shit. Like it's not necessarily like the shots that they're hitting too. I mean, they're hitting a lot of shots, but like my shots aren't fucking hitting. Gotta kill her first.
Making another approach. Repositioning.
You don't know when to quit.
Putting aside the fact that they're very, very accurate.
Pushing the barricade. Let's keep it up.
I have the power.
Keep a lookout.
Wants to aimbot grenade me. Thank you, Mercy, for giving me the rest of my health back. No. Hear him clumping around behind me.
The skies await.
I must go where I'm needed.
I will not waste this opportunity.
Hey,
Greetings. Enemy over here.
Anna. Or, Mercy?
Concussive out.
He's toggled. He is hitting a lot of his shots. There we go.
come to me for heal.
Seems to work really well, guys. When you get someone that's cheating, they usually try and goose step you and overextend. You just wait for a teammate to kill them because they aren't looking at them.
Enemy here. On the move.
Over there.
Barricade on the move. Over here.
What's up? Hey there.
Out of juice. Pretty sure the Baptiste is toggled. I think the soldier is also toggled. Baptiste wasn't earlier in the match.
Ooh, I'm gonna shove them in a locker.
Baptiste played in earlier in the match.
Enemy spotted.
No, repositioning. Join me. Let the kitsune guide you. Justice reigns from above. Hail crystal. Scatter.
I got you.
Taking it to the air.
Let's get moving.
A little more and we have the
And get him around the side.
I don't stay down. They took the robot. We need to attack. Damage intensified. I have power. Aerial positioning.
What's up? Come to me for heal. Hi.
Took the robot. Don't.
Let them up.
Entire team was trying to kill me.
Okay, my head's in the game.
Hello.
On the move.
2-minute warning.
Monstering you. Thanks for the assist. Excellent teamwork. Dispersing.
Can't take much more.
Always more
Enemy
to
spotted.
learn.
I think I need to kill the Anna now.
Repositioning. Let the kitsune guide you. Establishing aerial position.
It's definitely a pre-made. Once again, everyone needs to make sound in the air now, guys. There's something needs to change. It used to be back in Overwatch 1, like the only flying character was Pharah, and you occasionally get Guardian Angel with Mercy. It's not that way anymore. FT shouldn't just be able to silently jump in the air and slow fall. Pretty sure, as I mentioned before, he's cheating as well. But multiple people trying to get angles on me. Good.
Almost there. We must protect the robot at all costs.
Definitely focusing me. Good.
Robots moving the barricade.
Stay with the robot. We're almost there. Justice reigns from above. The barricade is making progress.
Lovely. Even with all their shenanigans, there's a lot of suppression on me at the end there. It's like 4 people trying to kill me. Anna included.
Justice reigns from above.
Alright, so. Weird thing about all this, guys, is these two guys were both playing the Soldier and McCree at one point in their time. This guy at the beginning of the match, when I thought he was cheating, was playing Soldier. This guy was playing McCree at one point, too. And then he swapped to Soldier at the end, too, and vice versa. A little bit of a Hanzo phase here. And then the Baptiste, also think was cheating. But not up until the point of when they started playing Baptiste. It's just we started doing things like line of sighting them. And that's why they get so many kills on me, line of sighting them. And then allowing them to overextend and then allow my teammates to kill them. Well, basically they extend time trying to kill me. And when you have good teammates, you can do that. Really seem like he's cheating on McCree. But then, like, when he toggled off, the Anna was one that started harassing me. It's the same thing with the Baptiste. It was when, like, the Soldier 76 let up, then the Anna and the Baptiste were suppressing me instead. And doing a shitload of damage, and occasionally the McCree. Well, I guess that was this guy at the end, wasn't it? One of the reasons that worked out so well is because we had healers that were able to keep me up even when I dropped behind cover. Because I need to be healed up right away. think we saw any pre-aim. It was just fucking aimbotting. Same thing with the Baptiste. There's a lot going on in the match. And I could have just got lucky, just hitting shots and shit. Don't know. There's definitely cheating though. Baptiste, still not sure completely on that, but pretty sure. Some wasabi powder at the bottom. Oh god. All the sodium in one final gulp. Wasabi almonds, guys, pretty fucking fantastic. Mm-hmm. Good, good, good.
Strike from above.
Mm-hmm. Happy Fry Sack, guys. Good, good.
Stay in sight, and I'll keep you safe.
Round 1. Capture the objective.
Let's get our hands dirty.
Not hitting anything again. Also, the network symbol keeps popping up.
Returning to battle. Repositioning.
I'm on the objective.
Ha! Feels like I'm fucking shooting through people or they aren't taking damage when they should. Fucking weird.
Over there. Aerial positioning underway. Over there. Blasted. Justice reigns. Double.
Good.
Let's show him some air power.
Well, looking better now, but still. Fucking weird.
Much better. Always more to learn. We're outnumbered. Be advised. Enemy here.
Hey, buddy. Tried to get around side, guys.
Returning to battle. On the move.
He knows. He's a knower. He's a knower, too.
Excellent teamwork.
Bye.
They don't give these suits to just anyone. I've got you covered. Enemy over here. Enemy got finished.
Oh my god. Why does no one pay attention to mercies? It's like the most detrimental thing in the world, and like in the middle of an objective. When like someone just gets rezzed in the middle of the battle. Guess we won that too? We missed the victory screen for some reason. People do not pay attention to mercies. Mercy rezzes are a big deal. That's a pick. It's gone. It's gone. It's reset. And killing a mercy while she's doing that means you get basically 2 kills. You get that res that would no longer happen, and then you also get the mercy kill. It's a big deal. Of course, the game doesn't see it that way, but you should see it that way.
All this work is never done.
Killing mercies that are resing, huge deal.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture.
Establishing aerial position.
The Aphira? Something. The swing? Look like he had his shield up. What? The fuck just killed me? He was done with his swing. How did I die? That doesn't make sense. Maybe we're playing against really fucking laggy people. It really makes you wonder. Do it. Do it. Okay.
System repair. Concussive out. Over here. Now they're increasing altitude.
Like, maybe the hit scan killed me around the corner?
But we got it done.
There you go. Sojourn.
Dispersing. There they are. Get ready. Aerial positioning underway. Repulsion. Double. Leaning out.
Sometimes when you land on edges, you don't get your jets back. Very annoying. Oh, they have a hard on for me. Oh. By the way, Echo 100% needs to be nerfed. Orchid is way too fucking strong. Especially your fucking laser beam, which is hit scan. And it does like 100% more damage if you are below 50% health. This is something insane like Bastion's damage. $41.13. He's drunk. He said so. Absurd amounts of it actually makes you wonder why Echoes don't like shred like basically all the fucking medium and heavyweights too, like anyone that has a reasonable amount of HP. Like a Brig, for instance, or Reinhardt. Just any of the tanks, to be honest. What should you do when your beam? Like, you basically get her down with your triangle blast, which can actually triple headshot you, if you're unlucky and close enough. Watch Echo. It does 3.5 times more damage, not 100%, it does 350% more damage if she's targeting something whose HP is lower than 50%.
Strike from above. City of unfettered scientists, yeah. Until they call Helix in tears at 2 in the morning because the wolf bats escaped again.
Does 175 damage per second to targets less than 50% HP.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Up and away.
2 seconds, so she does like 500 HP or something like that, just with her laser beam. Low 50% HP. 2 shot. Imagine, guys, someone with literally a fucking crass-ass name just being a cheater. No way. We haven't seen that in Dead by Daylight. That's the usual MMO. It's not the kids, like Naruto and Sasuke and stupid shit like that, weeb names. It's usually the crass, edgy fucks. Got down at literally the right time. Cheating. He's 100% cheating.
Another approach.
You can't hide.
I have a new plan this time.
Next round.
It makes a lot of sense, actually. So someone like this expects he basically rage cheating.
Okay, my head's in the game.
Pretty sure. And it's just like, this is going to be an unenjoyable match because I'm pretty sure this guy's just straight up cheating. And it looks like actually just like everyone in the match is maybe...
I see an enemy.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the name change. Headshot. There's nothing to do with the name change. There's everything to do with him getting banned, so he doesn't care. It's a disposable account.
Returning to battle.
But I'm not going to tell them that because people in Overwatch don't think people cheat, so.
Let's take him to the wasteland.
They outnumber us. Keep it tight. Repulsion.
So. It looks like this is a cheat lobby. I don't know, I'd say at least 3 of them are together. They're all named the same shit.
Is this one a scrap or a heist? I wasn't listening.
You actually, like, are these guys actually, like, have careers? Curious. Usually don't. It's all private.
5, 4,
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Yeah, it's a cheater group. I don't like anyone thinks he's actually has 8 hours. Uh-huh.
Enemy over here. Shake it off.
One of these days I'll end up in Fiji.
Health restored. Need reinforcements. Can I get an ETA?
That was just a sound check.
En route. The skies await.
So the only one right now that actually kind of looks like he's cheating is the McCree. The rest of these guys look relatively legit despite their names, so they probably toggle between matches. McCree is 100% cheating, so.
System repair.
The moment I mentioned cheating, it seems as though he's gotten less accurate. Let's see if he starts two-tapping me. For some reason, didn't get underneath myself. Oh my god. Dude, I think someone deflected it or she fucked up her... What the fuck did it hit? I don't understand what it hit in the air. Maybe the, no, Baptiste is on their team. What happened to their McCree? Is he shooting a wall somewhere?
Okay, my head's in the game. Positioning.
Question marks? Like, he literally didn't push with like 2 or 3 of their pushes. He wasn't even there. Like, they just don't expect you to notice. Well.
Play of the game.
Let them out.
Also, maybe the Baptiste is shooting too. But he wasn't doing it against me. Alright, so it was a cheat lobby. This guy, who obviously has a burner account, if that was not painfully evident. As a matter, this guy is just adding more weight to like what I was talking about here, guys. Like, we can literally look at it and see he has an 8-hour account, which he definitely just bought a brand new account to fucking get banned. Like, this is a burner account. That's all this is for, is to get banned and maybe play quick play and then get banned. Like, that's it. And it looks like the rest of his group is probably grouped with him just based on their names, their naming sake here. They're probably grouped with him. This guy definitely seems like he's cheating based on the pot G we just saw. But once again, he wasn't really trying to kill me at all, which is weird considering he's basically 100% accurate. This guy, however, was. And then he slowed down after I accused him of cheating. See, are the stats going to work or is it broken? Yeah, the Baptiste was definitely cheating too. However, it wasn't really outwardly apparent because he wasn't killing me. He wasn't trying to kill me. Apparently, he did it first, and then the moment I started pointing out weird shit, he stopped doing that. Probably wants to keep his account. Did he even kill me? No, it was the McCree. Yeah, it wasn't. So like when we got the Baptiste on the doorway there with his lantern, it wasn't even the Baptiste that killed me. It was the McCree that came around and killed me in the back. So it looks like they're depending on this guy to basically clutch the matches for him. And it's like, this is like the Ultra Burner account. And these guys are obviously all friends just based on their shitty naming going on here. And these look like they might be maybe chicks or something they know based on their naming here too. Love interests is usually the way it goes where they're trying to impress their friends. Now, which is why I felt the need to point out if his account disappears, it's not necessarily because it got hacked. I'm sure that's the common. If you're grouped with your friends and all of a sudden you don't have access to your account anymore, I'm sure the normal explanation is, oh, my account got hacked. Here, re-add me to my new account. So that's why I made sure to point that out. Because it's definitely a pre-made. I don't know if all those guys are grouped together. 3 of them, just based on their shitty naming, look like they're grouped together. But that's just what we're going off of here. Yeah, that was basically, I would consider like a rage cheater. Sometimes you get people that will just make disposable accounts because they just want to fuck around before they get banned. And it's literally a burner. That's the whole reason he has his hours exposed, because he's not trying to hide anything. He just wants to pop off and shit talk. You can tell just based on their shitty naming that these guys are all grouped together. Can't make this shit up, guys. Welcome to Cheat Watch. This is basically not just Overwatch. This is where gaming is in general nowadays. It's not going to get better unless video game companies actually start taking this shit seriously, and they don't. Just like with EFT, a big thing comes out where they're kind of exposed, and then they just sweep it under the rug, and they're like, hey, look, guys, 5 months later, no one remembers this shit anymore. Let's just go back to status quo, while people literally just insta-brain you from across the map and wiggle at each other through walls. It's the same shit. People just hope this shit gets swept under the rug so they don't need to deal with it. Maybe there'll be a little bit of a push forward to actually address this. Like, verifying your account with the phone was kind of where you had to start, and then they just dropped that. They didn't even care if you have an old account, it's verified by default. You don't even need a phone number on older accounts to play comp. It's just grandfathered in. And it's just newer accounts you need a verified phone number. That being said, it is incredibly easy to get new verified phone numbers. So, new verified account or an old verified account, and you can get ones with GM history too. Just where the game is right now. DBD time. I mean, DBD is cheating too. I'd actually say that I would say that cheating in Dead by Daylight is probably better than it is in this game. Like, the anti-cheat is probably better than it is in this game at this point. It used to, I mean, Dead by Daylight was horrible, right? You used to have people that could join your matches. They could queue into your lobby, not just stream snipe you and get into your lobby. They could queue into your lobby like it's a custom game. That is mind-blowing. How that even exists is beyond incompetent. Just insane. Absolutely fucking insane. But then on top of it, they had rage cheating for a long time too, like a year and a half, where people could fucking fly around, just stuck on hooks, hold games hostage. It was crazy. That was fucking crazy. But nowadays, like, they kind of cleaned it up a little bit, and I think they did a pretty good job. But this game definitely has some issues, guys. There's something going on here. Fucking weird. I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty bad at this point. That's where we're at, though. But I don't know, guys. I'm done for tonight, guys. I do want to play Overwatch up until the point where I get my 3 hardware upgrades, and then I think maybe we'll go back to Dead by Daylight. I don't know. So I'm getting a new motherboard process. Well, new MOBO, basically, is what it comes down to. And hopefully that'll come in the next week or so when I order it. But other than that, I also want a new video card, and I want a new monitor. And I really, really want a new monitor. I thought I was going to get an OLED that came out, but it doesn't have Reflex Analyzer built into it. I want a Reflex Analyzer. I am willing to pass up on an OLED just for a Reflex Analyzer at this point in time. Because it's gotten to one of these things where I'm trying all these fixes, and I have no idea what they're doing. And, you know, you can't tell. Like, all I can do is look at my FPS, and that doesn't tell you anything about how things feel. How things feel has a lot to do, putting aside when you get enough FPS, it's a lot to do with consistency of the FPS as well as input delay. And you need a reflex analyzer for that. So, I don't know, guys. I think that's in May. That's still a ways off. I want to get the new Asus 3K or 500 hertz monitor in May. That's a ways off. That's really, really what I want. My monitor sucks dick. Putting aside, I basically side graded and possibly downgraded when I got my current monitor from I had a PG248Q, which was a 240 hertz Asus monitor, and I side graded to this because it had a better panel. And then I think I got one with a shit panel in it. I think they changed out the panels they were using because they got too many RMAs and just stopped selling them. And I think I got basically an old school, worse than my PG248 QE, and that's what I have now. Unfortunately, that's where I'm at. So I really want a new monitor. It has a stuck red Pixel too, but that's kind of whatever. But May before May? Well, part of the reason I'm playing so much Farah is because it's the easiest to see when shit's broken on, so yeah. I don't know. It is very easy to see when I'm hitting my shots and when I'm not hitting my shots. Did I have any like 50+ games tonight? 50+% accuracy games? I don't think I did. I think everything tonight has been low 40s. 41. And that was with a cheater too. 33.12. That had a couple cheaters on 33.8, 38.7. 5.15 is pretty good. Midtown. $12. $5.13. So we didn't really have anything. Like the highest it looks like is 45. We had a couple 45s in here, but we had no 50s. And accuracy, I think the best was 20% we saw. Or we did work. Which one was it? Was it our first game tonight? No. Grotto. I don't know. It definitely feels like my computer becomes sluggish over time, and I'm just really interested, putting aside the fact that my 5900X is definitely defective. I really just want to change things out to get a different feel for things, so we'll see how it goes, guys. But I'm out here for this evening, guys. Tomorrow will be more Overwatch 2. So guys, if there's to look forward to or not to look forward to. But if you're new to the stream, you enjoy the bullshit, enjoy the fun, you enjoyed the poser guy pretending that he's amazing, make sure you hit the follow button in the top right-hand corner. I usually stream every day from evening to late night in GMT-6, so 8 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time to 1 to 2 a.m., give or take. It depends what's going on in my life, what's happening, etc., etc., guys. The usual shenanigans, guys, but I am out here for this evening, guys. Tomorrow will be more of the OW2s. Yeah, guys. Alrighty. Thanks for watching my stream as always, guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderfully fantastic Friday night and Saturday morning. Have a good day, guys.